What's up, y'all? It is Danny with Lucas Live News.
What's up? And Lucas here. Excited to be here with you guys here. It is December 18th, 2023.
All right. Something's happening somewhere. Oh, yes.
What's happening?
I think that's the Instagrams. We're testing out something new. And
so turn the volume down on that speaker right there. There's a speaker in front of you, spin it around.
I'm excited. Lucas, how you feeling?
I'm excited. I am humored by this whole situation. It is really funny to me. This is really fun.
Me too. Listen, you guys, Lucas and I have switched. We have switched spaces. I am over here behind all the gears and gadgets, and he's over in my seat just chilling out because we have a fun show tonight. He is gonna be on the couch with our guest, and I'm gonna be over here and I'm gonna be running everything. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys because I'm a very transparent person. I was a little nervous about all this, and I still am nervous. But I can do anything. So
look at us.
Look at us on Instagram.
Look at us all up and down. Look at it.
We are
Facebook,
on Instagram Live for the first time.
No, I'm saying no. That's Facebook. But still, my point is, it shows us an up and down like we was trying to do.
Yeah.
So what's up, everybody? Y'all looking at us like, oh, they're a little different. We should be live on Instagram, we hope, but we're not sure. It's not saying live just yet. But
it looks like it's a little frozen down there.
Yeah, okay, well, we're going to figure it out.
It's all good.
We're going to figure it out. It's all good. Please share this broadcast. If we're not live on Instagram by the end of the show, it's all good. We are going to be going live, and we're going to have this all figured out. We're going to practice and everything.
Yep.
We should practice tomorrow while we're setting up. You want to tell them what we're setting up for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, you guys, I have been putting together a special show, and we are calling it the Holiday Special, Lucas Live News Holiday Special. So tomorrow, we're going to be putting together all of the gifts and products and gift certificates and gift cards and all kinds of things. So tomorrow is like packing, wrapping day. So there's a few businesses that we're going to be talking about tomorrow. We're going to be giving some things away, doing some cash giveaways, all kinds of fun stuff. So tomorrow we're going to have a lady in here doing a balloon arch. Like, Lucas has really helped put this whole thing together, and I'm just so excited for it.
It was a great idea. I think you had a great idea. And, you know, sometimes you work with people and they have great ideas and you be like, that's a good idea. But you be thinking, that's a lot of work. I was like, I don't know. I mean, I was with you, but I was just like, if you can make it happen, I'm here for it. We got the studio, we got the gear.
Yes.
I'll be here. I can open gifts. Let's make it happen.
Yes.
But as we talked about it, there were more pieces and we just worked together like perfectly. Yep. I sent you like 4,000 text messages.
A lot. No.
But it was company logos, people reaching out. We're going to have some great food here tomorrow.
Excited. Yeah, and that's what
drinks.
I'm most excited about that. I was picturing, a bunch of gifts and things are going to be opening to give away, but we've gotten so many people that like have food businesses. They're like, here, take our food, take a cookie, take a this, take a that. So we're going to be trying out some food. And speaking of food, Lucas, we went to Squash the Beef weekend. So we went to Cleveland this weekend, and we went to a place called Squash the Beef. Yeah. Squash the Beef is a vegan restaurant, and they have all kinds of vegan foods. They have drinks, they have desserts, they have meals. So when we went, we just so happened to go on a day where they were doing a seafood boil.
Seafood.
And Lucas couldn't wrap his mind around the fact that we were eating vegan seafood. And
vegan seafood? I'm still struggling.
It was an experience because it was so cool because I have been vegetarian for 7 years. So to introduce, kind of my way to my people, it was like, look, like I make, homemade chicken patties and veggie burgers and all kind of stuff.
Chili and tacos and all kind of vegan
everyone
stuff.
Like looked at me like, you're not even really eating the real thing. I am. But it was so cool to see. I had actually never seen a vegan shrimp, so that was really cool to see.
Yeah,
I've eaten like vegan sausage and all that good stuff, but the vegan shrimp was pretty cool.
You really liked it. Listen, Squash the Beef. Shout out to the chef. He was wonderful. Just a fun-loving guy. Black-owned business.
Yes.
Cleveland. I mean, it was just so cool to go there. I'm glad that you thought of that, came up with that. I see our screen is doing a little.
You don't gotta do that. See, when you see,
What do you do when I'm
when I'm over there in the chair and things are happening?
You do
I
play
just
it pretty
keep it
smooth.
flowing, keep it going. You got to call me out. Like,
I can help you. Let's talk it through live.
We
all right.
Can. I would love
all right,
that.
go ahead and click on the person. I saw Christina. I think she made a comment. Go ahead and click it. We could leave comments there. Let's
wanting
just,
to go wherever they
I know,
want to
but
go.
I think the thing is they might. I don't know if we can fix that right now. So let's see what happens the next time you put up a comment. If it goes up there, maybe that's okay. We'll kind of keep an eye out for it and figure out what works best. And we're trying something new, you guys. If you guys have, thank you for everybody who's continued to follow and support Lucas Live Media, Lucas Live News, Lucas Live, and all these other shows that we're doing. And we have a lot of new podcasts coming out real soon. Can't wait. Stay tuned. January 1st, some great things are about to drop. So stay tuned. More information to come. But yeah, through it all, we just figure it out. We learn and we trying something new. I hope you guys let us know what you think about the new format. You're going to see a different format when the show goes live as well. Yeah. We are set up to go live to Instagram and one day TikTok. So we're practicing a little different. Today, we hoped to be live to Instagram. We're working it out. It may or may not work today. If it doesn't, that's okay. But we will be back this Wednesday. Again, for people who are just tuning in, or if you're watching this live or by replay, first of all, please share the broadcast. Second of all, we're going to have a special holiday show this Wednesday. We have been given some gifts that we're going to open up and enjoy. And we've been given some gifts to give to you all. Yes. Gift certificates, cash prizes, restaurants, all kinds of stuff that you want to tune in so you can find out how you could win something special this Wednesday. Yeah, I'm excited, man. The whole vibe, the whole ambiance of the whole show, it's going to be a really nice, comfy show. Like, my mind went back to being a child, sitting on the couch and opening up all of our Christmas gifts. So that's the vibe that I wanted to bring to this show, is us sitting down on the couch. We got the balloons in the bag. We got our favorite mugs that we'll talk about. That was one of the little things that I forgot about. You forgot about your mug. Now, that was in the description of the host, that we were going to bring our favorite mug and we were going to talk about it and why it's our favorite mug. Mine's been picked out since I had this idea. Okay. So I'm ready. Good. I'm ready. So you got to get ready and bring your mug. Awesome. So we'll be drinking hot chocolate in here. We're going to have a nice vibe. Like, I just really want you guys to tap in, kick back, relax, and win some prizes. We have, like I said, a cash giveaway. There's gift cards and there's actual products they're going to be giving away. It's the giving season, so we're ready to just to give some stuff away here at Lucas Live News and make this time, enjoyable for all of us. So absolutely, make sure you guys tap in. We will have. Oh, Lucas, that's one thing we didn't do. I had all my overlays set and ready, but that beautiful flyer did not get put into scene. Oh. So it's all right. They're going to see it tonight. As soon as this show is over, the flyer will be posted. So no worries. You can do it. No worries. We got Brandon Talbert. Uh-oh, it's happening again. Brandon Talbert hopped in. He said, that's dope. What's up? What's up? This guy right here has been winning all of the Lucas News. Prize, right? Yeah, all kind of prizes. He don't want to see color purple. He been doing his thing here on Lucas Live News, and we appreciate that so much. We also tonight have a special guest. I don't want to not say this, okay? This is somebody who I've seen in the community doing this thing, and I was just so impressed. Like, I don't know if you know anybody who makes a product or has a service. I'm sure you do. Yeah. But I don't know anybody that made a whole drink and packaged it all up in its own little can. And put it at the Hall of Fame Village. Got it. He got it in all kind of cool places. It's popping. Can we see it? Your local drive-thru. It's got just 5 calories. You could drink this whole thing, but it's got some other stuff that's gonna get you awake and feeling good in there. I got the sugar-free one over here. I feel like you can't like the lightest. There I know. You know how the Instagram they be like, they be like put their hand behind us so you can see it like the things. We're gonna talk to Channing. He is here today, live in studio. Yes. If you want to hear his story, you don't want to miss this. You want to stay tuned. We're about to get to that here in just a minute. We're going to hear how do you start anything. I don't know how you put something in what looks like some type of pop can. Yeah. I don't know. I made Kool-Aid before. Even just, I mean, when you look at this branding is you. It's the real deal. This is the real deal thing right here. And it's good. Okay. It's great. Because your friends make stuff and you be like, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. And you be like, this is nasty, but I ain't gonna tell them, You be like, this is great. And but it actually tastes really good. I'm so excited just to hear the why. Like people like for me, for instance, I created a facial
soap because I have problematic skin. And I really wasn't even going to create a soap if people hadn't gotten into my ear like, hey, you already make this, you might as well go into business and do this and do that. So I did it because I wanted to make, face wash. Like I made it for myself and let's make it for everybody else. But when you think about an energy drink, this is like the real deal entrepreneur. Like somebody's like, you know what?
Right?
I mean, I have competitors, but like this guy is competing with like Red Bull,
right,
Monster, like you know what I mean? Like he's competing with like some big name
and he's
brands.
going at it, you know, and knocking on doors, going to businesses, going to drive-thrus, going to places, talking to them. And I'm just so impressed. I don't know. Again, we're going to find out today. So as I'm asking him questions today, I'm going to meet him live over on the couch in the main scene. Danny's going to pop in and out from the control station. But I really want to know, like, how do you even do something like this? Because I want to make my own drink and I want to compete. No, I'm just playing.
Right.
I want to
Lucas
see
Live News
drinks. Like all of a sudden came out. No, but it's just a fascinating thing. A lot of times there's things that we think we can't touch.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I can't do that. Like maybe I could get some screw off lids and put something in a little bottle, make my little family Kool-Aid that my family loves and sell it. All good. Right. But to get something packaged like this, something so legit, something so well done, is a testament to what this man has done already. He's also multi-talented, multifaceted. We're going to talk to him about
I can't wait for y'all to dive into all of that
he does.
I can't wait. So Lucas, we got a few things we got to knock off the list as far as news. So I'm going to let you go ahead and go first. We have a vendor show coming up. Tell us about that.
So we will be there this Saturday supporting the Special Occasions Holiday Vendor Special. I think we have a little scene for that.
Yes, we do.
There we go. Vendor Expo, December 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Shout out to my lovely wife, Corrine Marie. She will be there selling her book, A Small Piece of Her Heart. It's a remake. If you loved A Small Piece of Her Heart the first time, beautiful love story, you need to check out the new version because she rewrote it. At this place and time in life, understanding the lessons that she's teaching people about love and life and things, and it's even more powerful in preparation for the movie that is coming out one day. This is going to be a whole movie and everything, right? So check that out. She also is talking to people about using reading as a way to relax and take some time for yourself. So she put together a whole book box, which we might see later this week, with warm socks, candles, so many other things. So we'll be at the vendor show. Shout out to Henry and Darshanette Zachary. If you've been to special occasions for karaoke night, they had a special event this past week. They have so many things going on there. Company events, parties, weddings, receptions, everything at special occasions over on Duber Southwest in Canton, Ohio. You guys make sure you come out. If you're not done shopping for the holidays, and I know you're not done, and even if you thought you were done, don't be done. Come out and support small businesses. This is how we keep money flowing in our community, by supporting each other. The vendor shows usually end once the weather changes. You can't have First Friday and things. Well, that's not the case anymore because Special Occasions is putting together an indoor vendor expo December 23rd, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We will be there reporting from Lucas Live News. My wife will be there with a table, and there'll be many other wonderful vendors. So make sure you guys check us out.
Thank you. I love special occasions and I love them. I love everything they do there. They have karaoke nights and my uncle has been begging me to come to, and I'm like,
you going?
I need to. It's right down the street from my house. I need to go ahead and get up and go down there and have a good old time.
I say it all the time because you know I sing a little bit. You know I put out a little bit of a Christmas.
No, we know. You get down.
Listen,
you get down.
I am like one of the
top. To sing? You cleared your throat.
I am one of the top shower singers in the city.
Really?
Okay.
Huh.
I'm one of the top ones.
I don't know. My son might disagree with you.
We can battle.
He might say that I'm the best shower singer,
you can actually
singer.
Sing though. Weren't you a part of Canton Idol once? Let's talk about it, Danny.
Speaking of Canton Idol, listen here.
Yes.
Betty Smith right now is getting ready to put together a choir, right? A gospel choir. And she has Darius McBride as what would you call him?
He's the organizer, conductor. I don't know. He's the choir director, maybe?
The choir director. Lucas, I don't know.
That's what you call him.
You're
I just be thinking of stuff. I used to be the choir.
He will be the choir director, and Miss Betty Smith is looking for any children out there interested in becoming part of this choir. So all you have to do is register at enrichment.org or contact Miss Betty Smith via Instagram. I think rehearsals begin in March. So we have some time. We have a few months to register and get ready for that. But Betty Smith with Enrichment is putting together a gospel choir, which I think is going to be beautiful, so amazing. Darius is going to be the choir director, and your children are going to be in the choir. So make sure you register at enrichment.org to make sure that you are a part of that. Speaking of Miss Betty Smith, and Canton Idol and singing.
Yes, shout out to Miss Betty. I think they're going to do Gospel Meets Symphony again. I think that might be what that is. If not,
that's what that is.
She is doing it soon. Gospel Meets Symphony. I love all music. I love live music. I love orchestras. I love bands. I love singing. So I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I would definitely be at that. So shout out to Miss Betty Smith and Enrichment. Shout out to the work they're doing, their new building. They got things coming along. We got to go check them out. We got to go see what's going on over there. So shout out to her. There's also other opportunities for people who have children who are musically inclined or interested. Enrichment has a ton of stuff for children who want to do that. Also, Sing Stark, which our great friend Joy Ellis is over there putting together a community choir as well. Don't feel like you got to choose. See how you can get involved. If you have a child who aspires to do some singing or some instruments, there's opportunity. That's what we want to share with you guys here at Lucas Live News. Our community is doing more than most people know. We don't give our community enough credit. Too many people say there's nothing going on. There's nothing for the kids. All you have to do is look around and ask and make sure you are following Lucas Live Media and make sure you tune into Lucas Live News because we're going to let you know the good things going on in this community.
Yes. Thank you, Brandon. He had put down that she needs youth drummers for the Enrichment drum line. And that is for Gospel Meets Symphony.
Let's go.
Rehearsals start in March. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Brandon. Listen, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get pumped up.
Oh.
I'm ready to get energized.
Let's go.
I'm ready for this fuel. I'm ready to hear about ZEAL energy. But before we get into that, we got to get into some serious stuff, right?
All right.
Lucas,
am I out?
You leaving us?
It's time for me to go over to the set.
It's okay. He's out of here.
I'm out of here.
It's out of here. All right, you guys. It's all on me. And I hope you guys give me some grace here because this is my first time doing this all by myself. Let me stay in the shot. Listen, life insurance. This episode is sponsored by the Pettis Effect. And this is life insurance, all right, you guys? So life insurance, we might not think about it as often as we should. I know for myself, I had it until my sister got sick. When my sister got sick, I said, all right, it's time to start thinking about this even though we're young. I have a son. She doesn't have any kids, but again, she is sick. So life insurance is super important. So if you do not have life insurance or you're looking for some information or to get signed up, I want you to text LIVE to 844-928 4811. My goodness, that was very small. And if you know me, you know I can't see. So I had to get a little closer to see that. So listen, we are sponsored by the Pettis Effects. So if anyone out there is looking for life insurance, help us help you and use our code LIVE. All right, guys? So that's all for me. I'll pop in as I see fit. But for now, we're going to turn it over to Lucas and Channing. And you guys are on.
What's up, everybody? We're live here from the chair, from the couch, here at Lucas Live Studio One. I'm so excited to be here. This is actually my first interview here on the couch, right? I've been putting this together. I think I started this studio in May, had big dreams for moments like this, and I'm so excited to have my good friend, Mr. Channing Hawkins.
What's up, man?
How you doing, my man?
Yeah, how you doing?
My man. It's so good to have you
finally
here.
Getting it done.
Man, I appreciate your patience.
Yeah, no, yours too, bro.
We've been talking about this for a minute. We're like, we're going to get together. I'm going to have you on the show. Mm-hmm. He's like, cool. And we've been working on it ever since then. Yeah. But every time I see you anywhere, it's so much love because I am extremely impressed with the business that you're building. I joked about it over there. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm going to get in here.
You going to let us know what's up? Because people like, kids have Kool-Aid stands, right? Lemonade stands and stuff. And I don't think most people see their child with the lemonade stand or something like that, taking it anywhere beyond that, other than maybe they'll be a business owner one day. And that was just a small place to start. Right. You actually got a drink. You got it bottled up in a can, looking good. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about your journey. How did ZEAL come to life?
So as we'll talk about later too, I'm sure, I was doing music initially. So my whole life, I was a musician. Grew up in the church, you know, played the drums and was always involved in even in school. You know, I was in the band.
What school did you go to?
So elementary, I went to Lathrop.
Okay.
Middle school, I went to Sowers. I did go to Lehman for a year during my junior high years, and then during high school, I was moving around quite a bit. So my freshman year, I lived in Toledo.
Okay.
Sophomore year, I came back, went to McKinley.
Okay. That's the spot. He was in the right spot.
Yeah.
He was there.
Yeah, shout out to the dogs.
Right,
but, after that, it was a school called Maumee, which is a city a little outside of Toledo. Then I came back my senior year, and I finished up at Canton South.
Okay.
So
so we out here. That's where we at right now.
Yeah,
so you knew us familiar.
Oh, I knew exactly. Yeah, my grandma, I can see her house from here.
That is funny.
Yeah, as soon as you said that. Yeah.
Our studio is in Canton South.
Yeah.
And I was trying to tell him where we was at. And he was all knowing all kind of stuff. I didn't know. I'm like, what are you talking about? Right. He was naming stuff. Like, how does he know this stuff?
Yeah.
So your journey started. You're from Ohio. You're
from Canton, born and raised.
Then to Toledo, then back here.
Came back a couple times, and then I would say when I was about 20 years old, I ended up moving back to Toledo, and then I went to Indianapolis.
Okay. For
some time, and then it's funny. You're gonna hear Toledo and Canton a lot.
Okay.
I was bouncing around Canton and Toledo a lot, but in 2016 actually, the top of the year, I actually I took that leap. I moved to Houston.
Wow.
And I was down there for a few years. And I would say, well, you go ahead.
Nah. Talk to us about,
so like just to answer your question before, we was talking about, how did the journey start? Well, it started with, the music and trying to do something outside of the music to, attach to my brand.
Right.
But I didn't want to do clothes.
Most people do clothes.
Right. And
we saw a lot of famous rappers go into clothing, especially I think like Damon John did FUBU.
Right.
And then he got like LL, got a lot of the artists in wearing FUBU. And then artists started saying, well, I could make my own, have my own brand. And unlike Jordan had shoes, musicians, especially rappers, had clothes. You saw that path, and for some reason, why not? Though?
Yeah, I mean, I did do. So we did have T-shirts. I would say like around 2014, we had some shirts that we was making, but that industry is a whole different beast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Right.
And my passion wasn't. I wasn't trying to make that a business. That was more so an accessory. To what we already had going on. So I was trying to think different. I was thinking outside the box. I knew I wanted something different. I didn't know out the gate that I wanted an energy drink though. I think my initial
most people don't be like, you know what?
Yeah,
I was gonna make some T-shirts,
but I'm gonna just sell an energy drink, right?
I'm gonna jump to energy drinks. Okay,
so I think some of that influence though came from going back to the music. Just a couple of my favorite rappers was like Jay-Z, 50 Cent. So being a fan of their music, I was a fan of what they were doing in business. Yeah, at a young age. So I always had an extra, eye for, okay, I can do the music, but what can I do with that? What type of product can I have to go along with that? And water was the first thing I was shooting for.
Interesting.
Because everybody drinks water, right? It's healthy.
50 Cent did a water deal.
He did a water deal.
And did really, really well.
Did really good, right?
I don't even think he didn't know what he was getting into. He didn't know it was about to be that big.
I think it was a leap.
Really, really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, okay, so everybody out there watching, I don't know if y'all ever thought, man, I should sell water. I mean, like, everybody got water coming in their house. And even though we buy water, I wouldn't have necessarily thought that was a business. I'm an entrepreneur too. Right. This whole thing is an entrepreneurial endeavor, right? So to hear the way your brain is thinking, to think you even thought about water, you thought about this is fascinating. And somebody out there listening, some young person, you got an idea. Maybe you do have an idea for the water, make the water. Yeah. If you got the idea for the shirts, make the shirts. If you got an idea for an energy drink, call him because he already got it on lock. You know what I mean? Don't mess with me. No, but you can really do anything. So you're looking at what others are doing. You're in this arena and you're just thinking down the path. Okay, so now you're like, maybe water. Where'd you go from there?
It went to water, but at the time I couldn't really find the right resource for it. And this is kind of like, of course, Google and things was out, but like you weren't necessarily just hopping on Google to search
everything. Every answer.
You had to really do, make some phone calls and do some research. Right. And then I was like, sports drink. But I was out of my league. Like once they told me how much it would cost just to start production,
really,
they blew me away. I was like, ooh.
You want to share?
$250,000.
Did he say $250? He said $250,000.
It was something like
crazy.
It was something crazy.
Just to even try.
Just to try. And that was just the first and only like company I called.
Man.
But once again, though, just, you know, not knowing. And then I think at that point, I kind of fell back because I wasn't like thirsty to like come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
Never was a real big energy drink drinker. I've had moments, just like with coffee. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but every now and then, depending on what's going on.
Right.
I do remember at one point there was an energy drink I was drinking. I'm not gonna say the name.
We're not saying the names,
you know,
because we only got one.
we only got one. You know what I'm saying? But I do remember telling myself, like, man, if I was to ever do an energy drink, I'd want the taste to kind of be, you know, it's not too chemically and, you know, all this different stuff. So when I really started considering an energy drink, I went through a few different resources, and a friend of mine, Dez, actually, you know, helped guide me because he was in, he has like champagne, and, you know, is
he local?
He's local.
He's local guy. Okay.
Yeah, that's the reason. Yeah, he has a champagne and stuff, and at one point was in the same industry. So, you know, I had hollered at him and, you know, told him a couple of the resources that I had reached out to, and, you know, he pointed me in a decent direction, like good direction. And I didn't know what I was getting into. Like once it became.
And when was this? How long ago was that?
So I actually, that was 2015.
Wow.
So yeah, 2015 is
we almost into 2024.
Yeah,
you first started thinking about this almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, in 2015.
And the crazy part is, to my recollection, I mean, energy drinks was good, but I don't even know if it was popping like that for real.
Nah, it really wasn't. You seen Red Bull and Monster, but it wasn't as popular as it is now.
Right.
Like, it was if you just drink
energy
drinks.
If you knew about it,
you knew about it. You know, you might see a person with a Red Bull here and there at the bar.
Right.
But yeah, I just jumped out there. That was 2015, and I got in touch with a manufacturer. We kind of went through the process of what the taste would be like, you know, what was in it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's deep, first of all, because again, as I think of entrepreneurship, right? I want to start a podcast. Mm-hmm. I needed a mic.
Right.
I got a $40 mic off of Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I got a $10 picture from the Goodwill.
Right.
I got a broken light from somewhere. I got a you know what I mean? And I just started that journey. I didn't have to talk to a manufacturer.
Right.
I didn't have to get permission, because we live in a day and age with social media where we all have a media company in our pocket. I always tell everybody that, like we all do. I was just brave enough and bold enough to go about doing something with it. To think about and I have some other business ideas. I'm having a business call this week I'm excited about. But when I think about having to go to a manufacturer, it's like watching the Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Right? You watch the Shark Tank and they're always like, well, do you have distribution? Do you have manufacturer? How are you going to, what if you get into Costco? What if you get in Walmart? What are you going to do? Everybody's like, oh, or if they do know, they get more respect.
Right.
So the fact that you had to start by talking to a manufacturer, this wasn't nothing you could cook up in your kitchen.
This wasn't nothing I was in the kitchen doing.
Right.
And it's funny because you had to tell people that, because some people, they're like, okay, so like, do you actually make it? I'm like, nah.
Right now, I'm not in there stirring.
I'm not even that good of a cook. So
I don't even make Kool-Aid that good.
Yeah. I definitely don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up? Shout out to Legit. What's up? We see a couple of comments coming up.
What's happening?
What's up, my man? I saw Miss Audie. That's your cousin? That's your family?
That's my cousin, yeah.
She told me that
What's
today.
Up, cousin?
What's going on, Miss
We
Audie?
deep out here.
Yeah, everybody coming to show some love. Make sure you guys share this broadcast. Tell somebody to check it out. Tell them to like and follow Lucas Live Media, because he is one of many great guests that we've had on and are going to have on, and we're going to support him. We're going to talk about some more things too, you and I, even after the show, about ZEAL Energy Drink being the official drink of Lucas Live Studio One.
Yeah,
man.
y'all heard it.
We've been talking about this for a while. I reached out to him and I'm like, man, I just love his drink. Like, I legitimately, not just seeing somebody doing business, I love the drink. It tastes great. So I'm like, man, I'm in here in the studio all the time, day and night. I'm tired. Yeah. I'm running around grabbing coffee, or I walk down and, you know, get a energy drink. And I'm like, man, what if I had his energy? What if I had my man's drinks here on deck? And then when we have guests come in, we've had, you know, other people doing shows here, Sarda, other people.
Right.
I want to introduce these people to what you have, so that they can start saying, why isn't this in my local store? Why isn't this at my drive-thru? Why isn't this at my restaurant? Why isn't this in my refrigerator? So we're gonna make it the official drink of Lucas Live Studio One.
Lucas
You guys
Live, ZEAL Energy.
Stay tuned. More to come on that, and you guys got to come check that out. So, all right. So back into the journey.
Yeah.
You thought about water. You talked to the manufacturer. You switch over. You're thinking energy drinks. Now, meanwhile, let's not let the people forget. You said this started because you were thinking about, because you were doing a music career.
Yeah.
You didn't start an energy drink because you just wanted to do something to make money.
Yeah.
You were looking at a play off of something else that you know and love. Talk to us about it a little more.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely like been doing music, like I said, my whole life. And then I actually put out like my first few projects between like 2010 and 2015. But I just wanted something to separate myself from other artists. Artists, like you said, typically do t-shirts.
Yeah, they do it clothes.
And that's kind of like it. You know, you get gear, but and then like, you know, fast forward, I moved to Houston. And at this point, when I moved to Houston, okay, well, let me rewind a little bit. In 2015, I launched my drink. I talked to the manufacturer. We go through some, you know, as far as the taste and what's in it, how much sugar, all of these different things.
Right.
So they send me some prototypes out. You know, we taste them. We like, okay, cool. This is a go. Like, but I didn't go to school for this. You know, this is just something I just jumped out the window.
You're not a chemist?
Yeah, I'm not a chemist. And not only, I didn't go to school for it. So it's not like I had any direction of who to market.
Did you go to school for business? Did you go to school for marketing? Did you go to school for sales?
Absolutely
not.
No college. Never.
None of that.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
This is so. And just to rewind a little bit back to your roots, you say you started playing the drums in church. So if I could ask, what role did faith play in getting yourself out there to do something that was unheard of?
Man, just like you said, faith, and that word in general, just coming from, you know, my dad was always in my life, but me and my brother, him and my mom had separated in '94. So me and my brother, you know, we was living with mom, single mom, you know, coming up in, you know, rough areas and whatnot. And just having faith just to make it through the next day alone.
Right.
You know, when the lights may not be on.
Right.
Or, you know, gas may not be on, or just anything, something similar to that. I think that's where the faith starts, in the house. Then at that point, it's like I've been through so much.
You believed in yourself at that point.
Yeah, like I can do anything. And then like, I mean, as a kid too, like just always trying to, I mean, since I was like maybe 7 years old, I was going out, cutting people's grass, washing cars, breaking leaves, shoveling snow. Cause I mean, I was smart enough to know I couldn't get a job at the time. And it's not like now where you can kind of just, you can be a kid and stream. You can, right? You can make some money. These things were unavailable. So the entrepreneurial spirit was always in me, you know, from day one. So I always felt like, you know, it doesn't matter what it is. I feel like I can sell it, you know, if you know. But just to fast forward back, 2015, you know, the drinks came in, everything is good. But then, and I was in like a store too. One of my friends had a store downtown. And then when they had Club Movement, we were in there for a little bit.
Interesting.
You know, shortly after that, I moved to Houston, just ready to spread my wings. Okay. And that's another, you know, segment. But trying to, you know, figure it out and get from my surroundings. And
so was the move to Houston a music move because they was down there chopping and screwing the music and you was like, I'm going down there and go get with it? Or was it you knew somebody down in an energy drink arena, or you were just hoping both would pop?
It was both. It's funny. I remember riding to Houston with my cousin Aunt, and at the time, like it was a lot going on in my life at that point. Like when I left Canton to go to Houston, I didn't have a lot of money in my pocket. Like I literally went down there on my last, like they say, $1 in a dream.
Wow.
You know, and I remember having a conversation with my cousin, and I was like, yo, like, what you think this is gonna work? And like, I remember he is like, cuz like, you know, the drink, the music, he's like, something's gonna hit.
Right.
You know, you going down here, you in the right space, you know, something is gonna hit. And at that point, everything kind of like stopped for a second because I had to restart and rebuild my life. So the energy drink was on the back burner.
Wow.
All the way up until from 2015 up until about 2019. But at the time I was changing So these cans, it didn't always look like this.
Okay.
You know,
right.
It was an 8 ounce
can. I gotta
can.
go ahead and get me some of this.
Yeah, go ahead. It was always a 8 ounce can, and it was blue, was smaller. So anyway, once everything shuts.
So what is this now? How big is this?
That's 12 ounce.
Okay, it's 12 ounces now.
12 ounce can. Yeah. Yep. Whole new logo, everything. But like I said, I was down there rebuilding, so I didn't have a bunch of money to fund the dream.
Right.
But I was doing the research.
Okay.
I was making sure, like, I knew, like, when I come back this time,
man,
I'm coming crazy, and it's gonna be a whole new look.
Wow.
Part of that though too. So when I first got the drink, at first it was just like you just trying to sell it, like you letting people try it and everything, and people, yo, that's dope, that's dope. What really what really like kind of tuned me up towards like the product itself and really knowing my core audience. I was in South by Southwest one day, and we passing out energy drinks down there, me and my cousin, and there was this guy, he drove trucks for a tea company. So, we hand him one, and he's not just like, oh, dope, energy drink. Like, the first thing he did was turned it around, and he just got to going through certain ingredients. Like, you don't need that. You don't need that. That's cool. That's cool. You don't need that. And you really just need that. He's like, all this extra. So at that point, I was like, okay, I need to really like pay attention to, and I had paid attention to what was in it, but he just put me on the game.
Wow.
And during that rebuilding phase, I would say that was one of the things, but I just took like 3.5 years just to, put the plan together, put the idea. Who am I marketing to? Am I marketing to the clubs? Or am I marketing to like truck drivers? Okay. People that need, that need the energy drinks, college students.
So what did you, so a couple questions. Okay. So one, I want to know like where you landed or where your target market is. But I also want to say this, what you invested in a time where you didn't have a lot of money was you invested a higher currency, the currency of time.
Yeah.
You put the time in. That's what people don't understand. Like everything, people want the thing at the end. They want the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They want the win at the end. They want to be an overnight success.
Right.
There's no such thing.
Right.
They don't understand. Like I didn't know one thing about a mic. You're into music. You probably know. You may still know more about mics than I know about mics. And certainly when I started Lucas Live, I didn't know.
Right.
So I started what I could afford, and what I did with the rest of it was I didn't have a lot of money, but I had a lot of time.
Yeah.
And when I didn't have a lot of time, we all have time though.
We all have time.
Like you could work a 9 to 5 and you still got
time.
You got 5 to 9. You got something you can put into it, and we don't invest enough for that.
I tell people that a lot. Me and my friend was just talking a couple nights ago, and I was just telling him, I was like, man, people don't realize that time has so much more value than money. It's so much more important.
And it's what we care about at the end of our life. Nobody's like, man, I wish I had more money. They're like, I wish I had more time. Yeah.
Right. So I tell people all the time, like, I've been in rooms that my money couldn't get me into.
That's deep.
Just from being patient and like you said, time, and another thing me and my guy was talking about, I was like, man, you just have to be patient because a lot of people stop too.
Yeah.
They run into one hurdle
100%.
and they're like, oh, it's over with. And I mean, I think that's one of the most important things I've learned so far on this journey is patience.
There's room at the top. I always tell people, because very few people are there.
Yeah.
Very few people are even halfway up the mountain.
Yeah.
Because most people got a third of the way. It got rocky. The rocks started sliding. They was climbing the side of the mountain. And they was like, let me down off this ride. I quit. I'm going to go do something regular. And then they live the rest of their lives just What they end up doing is, what most people end up doing is they spend their lives working under someone who climbed the mountain.
Right.
And that's okay.
Right.
That's fine if that's what people want to do. But so many people have real dreams. And shout out to our executive director. What is her position here? Shout out to Tiff, who is our production assistant, but so much more. She's Danny's little sister. So shout out to both of them, Danielle and Tiffany Williams, our creative director, our host. Danny does so much stuff. And so does Tiff. And both of them are entrepreneurs. So Tiff just started her candle business. And she started with wax melts. She's about to release it soon. We're going to be supporting it, blowing it up here. The studio going to smell like whatever she makes. Whatever she makes.
That's what's up.
That's what it's going to smell like. And shout out to Danny for starting the True Body Company and growing that. And there's moments where we all have to have those conversations with each other, like we're discouraged. I mean, me and Danny, she wasn't doing this with me, but years ago we just were having those conversations. She's like, I'm just trying to stay consistent with it. I'm just, I got to get back with it. And it's like, we just have to encourage each other to keep going. Yeah. So shout out to even the people who work with me. My thing is, let's all dream. My wife is building a business. Yeah. Everybody's doing stuff because we all going to pop together. Yeah. So that's why we love that.
Let's all dream. Like you said, people think because it's up and running, there's no discouragement.
Right.
They think like, oh, okay.
Oh, you doing good. Yeah, I saw your stuff is in these places.
Good. And I mean, it gets tired, especially when you've been running up the hill for so long. Yeah. It does get tiring. But like you said, you got to keep people around. That's not to tell you, because I've had people say in the past, like, you should probably do something else.
Interesting.
Like
you should stop doing this, or you should do something else.
Yeah, like also. after the first time I launched, and then I moved to Houston, there was a couple people I had spoken with that, but I knew that I had something different. And it's funny because, 2.5, 3 years went by. Like I said, most people would just stop right there, but like I said, I knew I was ready. I was like, once I step this time, I'm a step hard. And
I love it. Yeah. I love it. So we were talking earlier about you trying to choose your target market. So to everybody out there who's entrepreneurial, thinking about starting a business, one of the things you have to identify is your target market. You got to figure out who do you want to sell to, or who all do you want to sell to. So you were saying you were unsure at first. Was it college students? Was it truck drivers? Was it the club scene? Did you land in a particular place? Are you still trying to be? I mean, to me, a drink could be anywhere. But what are your thoughts about it?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Just like we just said earlier, we're in an era now where energy drinks are like popular everywhere.
Right, absolutely.
So at the end of the day, though, so I mean, with that being said, it can be at the convenience store, it can be at the gym,
right?
But you still want to identify with not just people that drink energy drinks when they go out and they have it as a chaser,
right?
But people that drink energy drinks every day or every other day, or truck drivers, extreme sports, college students. I mean, the list goes on. I don't think there's one particular market that you land on. Like you said, I think it's a little bit of everybody.
And it's knowing, so in your case, then you have to know how to strategically market to different areas.
Right,
say, somebody out there watching this is a college student, you want to check out ZEAL Energy Drink, you want to be an ambassador on your campus, maybe they can work something out.
Right.
What do you think about, let's talk about this a little bit, because this thought just came to me. What do you think about the future of potentially partnering with an NIL type of deal with an athlete? Because I think of it, obviously, athletes, drinks, things like that. Gatorade became Gatorade because of Michael Jordan and many other athletes. People was eating Wheaties back in the day. Wheaties taste like cardboard.
Wheaties back in the day. Enjoyed it.
I mean, Michael Jordan was on it. Yeah, unless you got to sprinkle a bunch of sugar. But because athletes had it, people had it, right?
Right.
So when you think about the next level for you, what do you think about ways of getting it out there? Do you think NIL deals is good? Do you think partnering with business? Do you think it's just getting into a big box store? All of the above? I don't know. What is it?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I've actually sponsored some athletes. Well, first off, we just launched last year, like as far as in retail.
Okay.
So last year was my first year actually being on the market.
Congratulations.
In the stores. Thank you. And we did sponsor some girls from the WNFC, which is the Women's National Football League. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And Deja Green from Canton. She was the first athlete that I sponsored. And she played for a team in Dallas. She went crazy that year. So she was the first athlete I sponsored.
That's awesome. She was on the show. Friend of the show.
Yeah,
she was on.
Yeah, shout out Deja.
Shout out to Deja.
Yeah. And I'm sponsoring her this year too.
Okay.
And her sister is playing too. I don't know about so they both, But there were other athletes and then some MMA fighters. My friend Mo Miller, he just had a fight yesterday at the Civic Center. I'm sorry, not yesterday, Saturday.
Okay.
At the Civic Center. And I mean, his next stop is probably gonna be the UFC.
Wow.
So I sponsored him his last 3 fights. He got in there and got it done. The first round.
Let me ask you what this means, because Lucas Live Media, what we're doing now, we're in a position where we're now taking sponsors and advertisers and things. We did it years ago. We stopped doing it as we revamped. We're now back in a place, 2024. We actually just got an official sponsor today. Shout out to Ed Smokehouse.
Oh, yeah.
Ed and Bert Smokehouse. Shout out to them. Thank you so much for the love and support. He always loved us. He always, wherever he was in the world, Ed was tuning in from Virginia to Guam. This guy was overseas jumping in on the show. He's home. They got the wonderful family restaurant. They do so many amazing things. Shout out to them and their Thanksgiving giveaway and everybody, Vitra, the whole family, everybody, the Hamptons. I'm trying to be in the family. I think Ed adopted me officially today. I think that's what that was. But, you know, you have people coming in and they're sponsoring advertising. You as a bit, also, I also shout out to Cyrus Assar. We were a sponsor for his Gutters for Greatness event. Okay. You know, we paid a simple amount and our logo is on the backdrop and stuff, you know, and we've sponsored other things. What does it look like for you to sponsor something for somebody out there who's like, maybe I should talk to him because I'm a great athlete or a great something, or I have great potential. How do you even work that out? What does that even mean to those who don't know?
So it varies from sports, you know, whatever sport they're playing. But I mean, it's pretty simple right now. We're still a growing company. So, you know, a lot of the budget is tied up into different things.
Absolutely.
But so I think that's the first thing with athletes, because quite a few of them have reached out to me, and right now I'm not in a position to sponsor everybody.
I'm the same with small business.
You know, small business, you know, we growing fast, but at the same time, you know,
you got to put your money in the right places.
Yeah.
And you got to live.
Yeah, you got to live. You got to eat, right?
You can't just drink your drinks all day.
And I'm in a business where, like we was talking about earlier, I was telling one of my guys, I was like, you know, we was just talking about the clothing industry, and it's like, or the food industry, selling plates or doing hair. It's okay to do those things, but you want to try to separate, you know, what you're doing
from everybody else doing it,
from every other thing. But in my case, right now, I'm in kind of like a lane of my own, and the only people that I can go up against have billions of dollars, right?
Interesting.
Red Bull, Monster, Rockstar. There is no other local drink right now, at least around me, that you know is a threat, or that you know competition, you know, competing. So with that being said, I don't have, you know, the capital to sponsor a bunch, but what I tend to let athletes know is there's something that we can do for them. Like if everything goes right, you know, there's something that we put together for them. But also at the same time, one of the things that I want to do for the athletes that I sponsor is, and I make sure I let all of them know this when we do talk or have meetings, is, you know, we do want to sponsor you while you're still playing, but at some point the cleats got to come off. You know, at some point you're not going to be playing anymore.
Absolutely.
But I want to make it to where, you know, we can have our own athletic, you know, department or situation to where in the future we can run camps.
I love
basketball camps, wrestling camps, softball, whatever, and we can have some of the athletes that we sponsored prior
come back,
hire them to do the camps. So you got to negotiate a little bit, but I am very upfront though, because some athletes, they just come at you with a number.
Yeah, you're
like yo, $1,000, you can get the logo, and it's like, we're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
I love it though. See, I think it's important for us to talk about this, because the sponsorships that I've done, it's like I did what I could do.
Right.
People who sponsored us, they do what they can do.
Right.
And we all work this thing together, but it's important for us in this community. And this is something we talk about a lot here at Lucas Live News, is supporting local businesses.
Right.
And what does that look like? It looks like if they have the option and they go to the store and ZEAL is there and Monster's there. Monster is a monster of a company. Monster's probably owned by Coke or somebody, right? It's probably one of those big conglomerates probably owns it. And no disrespect to them, because Coke and Pepsi started with somebody. Like Coke was a dude and they made Coke one day, and Pepsi was a dude and they bought a business, they made it happen. So everybody started somewhere. But when we have an opportunity to support local businesses, when I have the opportunity to go somewhere and I see yours versus somebody else's, I need to vote for yours with my money. Another thing is, I think about this too, and this is a conversation. If someone was interested, like, how do you get into stores? Because like I go to stores and I don't see you. It's a pizza shop right over here, right? And you got a great local story too. And they got it's some kind of energy drink. It's not Monster. It's kind of this size. Celsius. I don't know what it's called. Something like that, right? I don't know. We don't need to shout it out. We don't know what it is.
Right.
But I'm looking at this like, that just look like that don't look like anything like the big brand.
Right.
So I'm like, man, if they could have that, they could probably have this. If we out here in the community know local store owners or frequent local stores, how do we help set you up to maybe go in there and have these conversations? What does that even look like?
Well, so there's a couple things. So one thing I'm getting soon, I have some distribution.
Okay.
That way my drinks are already pretty much everywhere. You know, that's right dope. Now I'm still working on that. So my process right now has been I just go into the stores.
That's dope.
I go into the restaurants.
So if I know a store owner,
if you know a store owner,
I should holler at my guy Ed. I'm gonna call you Edinburgh Smokehouse.
Yeah,
get you. You know,
I think I seen him. Yeah. I think I had met him at a meeting at the Minority Association not that long ago. I had met him, but yeah, that's what it is, and it's just really just guerrilla hustling. Just like I go in there now. There are some places where I take more of a email approach and email them and set it up. But most of the time, though, if I'm riding past somewhere and I see something that I could potentially, I'm just going in there. Yeah. You know, I talk to the owners. I love it. If they're not there, I'll leave a card. I'll come back. I'll email them. And there's some really dope spots in Canton that we are at. Which I'll shoot.
Now I want you to name some of those places, but first, Jay Davis says y'all took ZEAL to London.
Oh, my dude.
What are we talking
shout
about?
out to Jay. So this guy right here, it's funny because my life started elevating even more when I ran into him. So Jay is a friend of mine that I met through another friend, and he has a fighter who I also sponsored a couple of times. His name is Seth Schaefer. He fights bare knuckle. Okay. They had the big bare knuckle league. And he was the champion.
Is it the Fight Club? Is it? Can you not tell us about it? What is this? I was scared. I was like, you got the Fight Club in the back alley.
He's in BKFC now, so that's like the most top tier bare knuckle. But I met Jay last year, and it's so crazy because we've gotten so much done in a little time. We was in California last year. You know Zab Judah, the boxer?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, he fought Floyd, great, 6-time world champion. Dope. We went out there with him, and he was actually training his fighter. But Seth had a championship fight in London last year, which he won. Okay. But, I sponsored them then. They had the drinks out there. That's dope. Yeah, Jay's my guy.
That's
Turk House Farms. What's up, Jay?
And so, Jay, you met about a year ago?
I met him a year ago.
So this is another thing, because I always want to bring out, Lucas Live Media is about education, motivation, liberation. We want to teach people something they didn't know. We want to motivate them to do something they weren't going to do before. Right. And want to liberate them, as in set them free from the mindset that it's not possible. You met this guy a year ago, and now you got your stuff sponsoring somebody, and your drink is in London.
Yeah, it's crazy
because you made that connection and you didn't back away. Now we got to know how to tell who's for us and who's not.
Right.
There's going to be people who come along,
man. You're not lying.
And try it, but when you find the right people, what's up, Taylor? Shout out to that's my brother, Taylor. Oh, okay. Shout out to Taylor. What's going on, my man?
Yeah.
So
no, definitely. What was the question?
But it was just So you guys met a year ago.
Yeah,
you went into London.
Absolutely.
Now, the question before that though was around here. Where can people find it? Where can people find your drink?
So our website is actually zealnation.net, and we're in the midst of still updating it. But you can definitely go there and put your email in there and subscribe.
And get a mailing of where you're at. Okay.
Yeah. We're getting that put together. But I mean, quite a few places. So. We are at, I'll just name a few. The A Mart, which is on Cleveland Avenue, which is right by Malone College in the fire station. There's a guy named Mark. He has a restaurant in Jackson Township called DP, Jackson Steakhouse. Best steak.
What?
Fire, gas. And he has a meat shop right next to it.
You got to introduce us to him.
I am. I've been meaning to. I've been thinking about that. It's funny you said that.
You have no idea how much money I spend on a good steak.
Man, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Often, and then he has a meat shop right next to it, though. Okay. So you can go in there and get fresh meat and go back and it's literally right next to each other. That's amazing. So it's out there. It's a spot called K1 Indoor Go-Karts.
Yeah, I know where that is. Out there by the airport.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was one of the first 3 locations I was in.
That's amazing.
And that was crazy dope because I had seen that they were building one, and I made a mental note like I'm gonna be the first one to get there as soon as they. That. So once the building had actually been up, I think it had been up for like a few weeks. I went out there, left some drinks out there. I didn't even expect to like really get a call back, to be honest. But the owner of that location emailed me and was like, "Yo, we want them." Brought them out there, and I mean, they go fast out there. Shout out to K1 Speed. Y'all keep me.
I heard it's real out there. I heard you go kart, but it's like a whole up and down.
You gotta sign a waiver.
Right.
Before you get in those cars.
Right, it's real.
Yeah, it's real. But K1, like I said, it's endless drive-throughs, almost every drive-through in Canton. We getting there. But I'll tell you this though.
When we go to those drive-throughs though, I just was at one yesterday and I saw the Monster case.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, I wish they had ZEAL in here, but I didn't even think to ask. We should ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to ask, right?
Yeah. And if we're not there, well, trust me. You let me know.
Okay.
and I'll make sure.
I love it.
Yeah, I go through there. But yeah, we're growing, and then we're at a couple locations, and we're in Seattle. We're in the Bronx in New York, right?
I was just in the Bronx.
Really?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I literally 2 weeks ago I was in Harlem and in the Bronx, which I fell in love. I mean, I was downtown. Yeah. Shout out my guy Brian. We was out there. I was out there for business, but shout out, connect to my dude Brian. But was in the. I just love the culture, love the people. I just wanted to stay. Has some amazing coffee out there. Funny talking about energy drinks. Yeah. I can't think of the name of it. I want to say it, but anyway, it's a Puerto Rican
culture
coffee.
though. Culture Lounge. It's a new spot downtown.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We got them there as well.
I love that.
I'm just trying to. New York, Pennsylvania.
How did you get in the Bronx? How do you get in Pennsylvania? And how do you your distributor ships it and they take care of everything?
I take care of it. So I get with my distributor, and then I'll ship them out.
Okay.
You know, myself. I'm sorry, my manufacturer. Rather.
Yeah, okay, right. Okay.
And then I'll get them out.
You're the distributor.
It's about having good relationships. Like I have a cousin, which his business is called Burial Real Estate. He's from New York, but he lives in Pennsylvania, and he had some people up there that was interested in it. And then as of recently, we just hit Alaska 3 weeks ago. So we in Alaska right now.
We just hit Alaska real quick. You know what I mean? We just like, doing my business in Alaska, thinking the 50th state or 49th. I don't know. Wow.
Yeah. So like I said, once we get the distribution, we'll be able to cover a lot more ground a lot quicker. But, by the end of, I was going to say this year is over.
Yeah.
I say by the summer of next year, we'll have a lot of Ohio covered. But it's a process. Like I was saying earlier, I'm going against billion-dollar corporations. Right. So some of the tactics that they use, it's funny too, because you start seeing like, okay, I must be doing something because there's a store called the A-Mart where they sell my drinks at. When you go to a store, you see the little decal sticker on the cooler.
Yep.
Whatever beverage it is they're selling. So I had a decal sticker on their cooler. Now I've been going to the store 15 years.
Right.
The coolers never had decals on them. It was just clear, right? So I launched a drink last year. The decal is on there.
Right.
I'm smacking Red Bull that whole first month. I know I am because it's the hype of everything. People wanting to try it and stuff like that. I know I was outselling them for at least a couple weeks.
Right.
But regardless, a few months later, they put a decal right above my decal. And even the people at the store was like, that's crazy because they've never, no company has ever put a decal here. So I was like, okay, I'm on them.
Yeah.
But this is one of the tactics that they can use too. Any beverage company, not just energy drinks, they can buy cooler space. They can buy the entire cooler.
Right.
So that's happened before where, somebody's like, yo, I'm looking for your stuff, but I can't find it. And then when I go in there, I'm looking for it and can't. Then it's like way at the bottom of the shelf. And I'm like, yo, what happened? And they're like, well, Monster came in
and paid us all this money
to lock it up. But there's an advantage to that still, though, because one thing that they can't buy or they don't own is the actual floor. So when you walk into a store and you go to the cash register and you see the big cooler with drinks in it, and little small coolers behind it.
You can set that up.
I can set that up.
Something set up.
Yeah, so until I get on their level.
I'm
creeping.
I like
Red
it.
Bull,
I like it.
Monster. I'm on to you.
Coming for you.
I'm coming.
All right. Remember that. All right. One day we're going to play this back. We're like, remember what we were saying? He was about to be on.
But it's interesting, though. I mean, it's dope, because everything happens so fast for me. I don't really ever I don't really take a lot of time to sit and like reflect.
Yeah.
On how far I've come,
because
I'm still running this race, but at the same time, it's dope to get that kind of, I won't say recognition from Red Bull or not, but
they see you.
They see the Right.
They see you. They're making adjustments. Now listen, here's the cool part. Shout out to Kenny Peterson. I just saw him pop up there. Shout out to
Kenny. What's happening?
Kenny, man. Kenny is a great businessman, former NFL player. Him and Sean Crable just did a wonderful job for the Canton Chamber of Commerce, had their quick connect. And it was just absolutely phenomenal. They were just so good. So I'm so excited to talk to Kenny. He's been a guest on the show. More to come with Kenny. I'm so excited about everything that he's doing. He's also a great mentor to people out here who are doing business. He's not someone who's holding everything back, saying, I'm just trying to dominate and getting everything. He will help you. He will talk to you. He's going to tell you some things you need to do. You probably should do them. Don't waste his time. But he's a great guy, great person from this community right here in Canton, and he's back, and what a blessing. His story, I can't wait for us to have him back on, because his story about how he ended up back in Canton when he got into Nothing But Cake, and he was talking to the franchisors, whatever it is, and they were like, we don't have anything in Ohio. And then they were like, called him back the next day and was like, we got something in North Canton, Ohio.
Right. They like somewhere.
Belden Village.
Little do
he
they
was
know.
like, that's home. He was like, that's home. He's like, that's Canton. They was
that's
like,
it.
no, it's not Canton. It's not the Hall of Fame Canton. He's like, no, never mind. Send me the paperwork.
Send me the paperwork. Let's do it.
And he's doing it. So shout out to Kenny and everything he's doing. It's a powerful thing to see people who look like us
absolutely
doing things like this. And it's important for our young people to see it. Not that they can't model other people. I think young men can see women doing great. I think people can see people of all colors and beliefs doing great things and be inspired. I'm inspired by the story of, I've watched documentaries on how Coke and Pepsi started. These were people. They were just, Coke was,
same thing with Red Bull. I actually, because like I said, I do my research. It was very similar, surprisingly, to mine.
Interesting.
Yeah. When they first started out, first of all, they started it overseas. It didn't start in North America right away. And it didn't taste good from what, the talk was then. But it was something new. It was an energy drink. But it was kind of like how when I said I launched and then I had to take a few years off to kind of get things together. The same thing happened with them. And it was like when they first launched, they had some success. But then they couldn't fulfill, the orders. They didn't have the capital to fulfill everything. So they took like a whole year and some change off. But it was just, those were the early stages though.
Yeah.
And, the rest is history. But, like you said, a lot of these people, they started out just like, we did, just in the garage or in the basement.
That's real.
So.
I love it. And they took it off from there. Listen, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Now, we're going to have to do this again because we didn't get into everything. But before we end, I do want to give a little bit of time for you to talk to us about some of the other things that you're working on. Okay. Not just ZEAL, but you got some other projects going on. Talk to us a little bit about what else you got going on.
Yeah, so I am, like I say, I do music. It's been a little second since I actually put something out, but with the energy drink, just to go back to it, but everybody they have that space or that secret place where they can kind of get away from this is what we consider work, right?
Absolutely.
There has some people go play basketball. Yeah. Some people go work out. Music has always been my thing. So whether I'm listening to it or actually recording it, that's my thing. So I am putting together a project. More than likely it'll be out sometime next February. It's called No Concept. And the reason why I called it that is because there was no, I didn't go through, everything's just everywhere. It's just how I was feeling for each song. It's not like, oh, well, this was about this.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of going here with this one. It's just some songs I put together. And I just dropped a snippet earlier on Facebook for everyone.
Check that out. But that's on your personal page?
Yeah, I think it's on the ZEAL too.
Okay.
But just to touch on something real quick though, my goal for ZEAL Energy, because people always ask where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or I'm not sure.
All right.
But what I will say is I want this to become, a corporation, something that's bigger. Because at the end of the day, even after I'm gone, ZEAL Energy will still be here.
I love that.
So and I wanted to provide not just a job for my daughter if that's something she wants to take up.
Yeah.
But for other people, for our people.
Sure.
For just, in here, that's one of the big things I want to do is provide jobs. And just to take a step back, talking about my daughter, I did leave Houston at some point. Okay. And I came back to Canton when my daughter was born. So in like 2019, my daughter's 4 years old right now. Okay. I did move back. And I was still back and forth. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people get discouraged when they move somewhere and they have to come back home. Yeah. And it's easy to fall off then. Sure. See, but in my case though, I always tell people like it was a blessing in disguise, because when I was in Houston, I put the work in I needed to put in down there, and I established some contacts with people. Right. That I was able to hold on to and still get things done. But I tell people, it was actually a blessing that I did come back, because I was able to launch my product here where people know me. Right. That's a benefit. You know, I could have launched it in Houston, but it would have really been an uphill. Right.
There's no store you've been going to for 15 years.
Right. And exactly. All of that. Yeah. So it's easier for me to go to a place like Houston or California, even if I don't have anything out there. We're in 50 stores in Ohio. And then it's like, okay, well, you got some traction.
That's a good point.
Now we can take the gamble. So
love it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot, man. Like you said, we definitely have to chop it more whenever you want. But you know, we're trying to get it out here as much as we can. We have a lot of dope things planned for next year. We do community cleanups. We did a few last year. We actually fed some people at Total Living Center a couple of days ago. We donated some hams and stuff like that. So that's one thing we try to make sure we stay intact with, is the community. Yeah, you know, for sure. So, but we got tournaments, video game tournaments, all type of stuff going on next year. So it'll be on the site. We'll keep updating y'all and
sign up for that newsletter. So y'all can know what's going on.
Newsletter.
And as an official partner of Lucas Live Media, we're going to make sure that we're sharing his stuff on Lucas Live News. So whatever you got going on, you let us know. We'll shout it out on Lucas Live News. We'll keep the people connected. Danny, what's up? Danny, you gonna come back on? We gonna wrap this thing up. But she over there, she got the headphones on and everything. She over there legit. Keep the headphones on. She producing.
I've been over here producing, doing what I do.
You got your mic all the way up and everything? You done turned it on? You good.
Listen, you know, I ain't new to this. I'm sure to this. So I got my mic on. I'm not gonna slip up. Like, let me double check. Yeah.
You ain't gonna say like somebody else do, because I do that sometimes.
My cousin just said the Bronx need to re-up too. Shout out to my cousin Sean Bailey. We gonna talk as soon as I get up out of here. I'm trying to read some of y'all's comments.
Yeah, there was a lot. I was trying to put them all on.
Shout
on
out Danny. Go ahead, Danny.
Right.
They were loving it. I had a question over here too, and I was like, dang, am I ever gonna get on?
Okay.
I just had one question though. Like, whenever you were putting together the taste for the drink, did you do like taste testing, like figuring out which one you like?
How
best?
is this so good?
Good question. I actually didn't.
Good question.
No,
the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually didn't. I knew what it was, but and that's something we can dig into next time, because there were a couple different flavors at the time, but I didn't want to start with like a blackberry or blueberry. Yeah. I wanted to start simple. And like I said, at the time when I started it, I didn't know anything about, you know, the industry or whatever. I was like, this tastes good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
But there is a new manufacturer I'll be working with soon. And because a lot of people ask, you know, we need more flavors, you know? So we do have some berry shots coming out soon, like a 5-hour energy, but it's ZEAL.
Okay.
So that'll be coming out soon, which that is a different flavor. And then with this next line of drinks that I'm about to do, you know, I'll be doing a bunch of taste testings. So Danny, if you want to, you know,
listen,
you might be one of the ones.
You know,
I
would love
we can send it through you.
Please, put me on the list. I also thought there was a cool point too when I don't know who you said, and maybe your cousin had came in and looked at the ingredients and was like, nope.
Oh, the guy
I met at South by Southwest,
Yeah, and I think that's what makes your drink so unique, is because it doesn't have all that extra stuff. And I do remember sitting at Deja's going away party, and someone wanted to taste it, and they said, "Is this gluten free?" And you say no, and your brain, I seen your brain start ticking like, but I need to make a gluten-free one. And I you said that, so yeah.
And just for the record too, like our drinks, we do have less sugar, less calories, and less caffeine than mostly all our competitors, Red Bull, Monster, and Rockstar being the top. Because a lot of people everybody can't drink energy drinks.
I was gonna say, you just said, shout out to Coach G. What's going on, my man?
Coach G.
What's
happening?
You said less caffeine. I'm trying to think of That almost sounds like me saying, man, I built this car with less horsepower. And everybody like, I want more horsepower.
Right.
So you assume everybody wants more caffeine. But the truth is, my wife is one of those people. She can't touch an energy drink. It'll make, she won't sleep for 2 days.
Yeah.
And her heart will be pounding. She'll feel uncomfortable all day. So you made a decision to say, I want to help people stay awake, but I'm not trying to have you losing your mind.
Wired out and crashing out.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people, people that drink energy drinks, that are energy drink like consumers, that's one of the first things they say before the taste even comes into play. They're like, how much sugar is in it?
Yeah.
Right.
How much caffeine is in it? And
I would think that as an athlete, I would be like, I'm not going to go drink a Red Bull before I get ready to run.
Right.
But you got something like this that can get you going and don't leave you that crash or even making you feel just bad,
Right.
I don't think to drink a Red Bull when I'm like healthily ready to get turned up.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Great chaser too. People love it.
Is that right? You said that earlier. I was like, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So it has this place at the bar and other places like you're in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. So you said Culture Lounge, you're there.
Culture Lounge.
Shout out to the people at Culture Lounge. We gotta go check them out.
It's dope. It's
I was supposed to go there a couple nights ago.
I was too.
It was like midnight and I was like, me and my wife was on our way. It was like, we going home, going to sleep. But
just to clear up something Danny said earlier, because it didn't actually end up going through. So I was supposed to I had threw my hat in, the bid for the Hall of Fame Village to have ZEAL Energy Drink be, but I didn't get it.
Okay.
However,
not yet,
and I'm cool with that. However, though, but the vice president reached out to me personally.
Wow.
And just told me like he kept it like straight to the point, real cool guy. Just like we kind of already had something in place.
Okay.
But he's like, once this contract is up, come visit me.
To us.
And that doesn't mean I'm cool with that though, because this goes back to just me just being like, I go anywhere and just plant my feet wherever I want. Because I can still, and my drink will still be in a couple of those stores.
I was thinking that too.
The village.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, why let's stop that?
It's not. Yes, and that way, when people come to the Hall of Fame events, if they buy the drink inside the village, they'll be able to take it into the stadium.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's up to you if you want Red Bull or you want ZEAL.
Right.
You know what I'm
right
saying?
there. I love it.
So God has been good. I'll say that.
Good.
Just
absolutely
being patient and. He'll open those doors when you least expect, and that's what he's been doing, man.
Listen. I made this post the other day because a friend of mine, shout out to my guy, Gino Haynes. We went to lunch the other day and he said, somebody told him, he said he got a lot of cool things coming up. I can't wait to have him on to talk about all the cool stuff he got going on. He said somebody said to him, he was trying to make some decisions and make some moves. And they said, why don't you leave room for God to surprise you?
Man.
Blew my mind. And he just said it so casually because he was repeating what somebody else said to him. He wasn't saying it to me. He was telling me a story. He said, and they was like, leave room for God to surprise you. So then I decided to make this other move and then God blew it all up and it all worked out. I walked away from there like, leave room for God to surprise you.
Yeah.
We're so busy trying to control everything, trying to make things happen, discourage when it don't work. Everybody else is successful. Everybody else, everybody else is figuring it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody else is trusting God too. Everybody else has those nights, those dark nights where you're sitting there by yourself thinking, what did I get myself into?
What did I get into?
Can I even meet the need that I created?
I've had those
keep up with this? Like, how do I keep up with this? I just started this thing. It's going so good. And sometimes you just get discouraged because of success sometimes.
For sure.
Like,
you do.
It's going so good. Can I keep up with it?
And I want fun the rest of the thing. Because that don't mean,
that's the stress.
Don't mean you got all the money yet.
That's the stress of it,
that
right?
in between.
That happened. And the crazy thing is like, as business, owners, we know that it happens more than often.
100%.
In the middle of the night. Like you can just be, do I really feel like continuing this?
Right.
Because it's growing, but it's more work that's required.
It is work,
right?
Like I said, more money.
See,
I need
people
help.
just see the glitz and the glamour of it. They don't see what goes into that. The late nights, the funding for it, because people like us are funding from ourselves. Like
100%.
we don't have nonprofits.
You make it black soap. You got to buy the stuff to make black soap.
I got to buy it myself.
Right?
I got to go buy jojoba oil the next couple days so I can finish making what I got to make with my money, So, and then when you do make the money from your company, you're just reinvesting in it. I mean, you're not cutting yourself a check until, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can actually afford to do
that. Yep.
That's big.
So stay encouraged.
Stay consistent.
Keep
stay
people
encouraged. And I think one of those like little like jewels, right? Those like little secret gems is like have gratitude. You know what I mean? Like always show grace and always give thanks for what you got. Definitely. Because every step closer to the goal is just a new step. And we got to just make sure that we stay thankful for those moments, because in a blink of an eye, they could be gone, right?
Yeah, that's right. And keep good friends around. Keep people that will encourage you. Your circle is important, right? Yeah, your support circle has to be, and keep them on their job. You know, if it's something that they trying to start, definitely, lead the way.
And network. Put yourself into spaces and around people that are doing what you want to do. Go to those business expos and talk to that entrepreneur or that business owner or that store, whoever. I just think, being around like-minded people is what's going to help us elevate and grow as entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and that's the last thing I was going to say. Like, that's exactly, like I said earlier, I've met more people and been in rooms because of the grind, the late nights, not because of the money, because I made a bunch of money to be in these rooms. But like she said, networking, people do not realize that is everything. Yeah. That's 100%. Everything, 100%. 100%. Just like with me and you, like I seen what you was doing before.
Right, we hadn't even really talked.
Yeah, we hadn't even really got a chance. But I was like, yo, he's doing something that I haven't seen anybody in the city do on that level. Right. I was like, and I was telling my friends way before we even talked, I'm like, watch, this dude is gonna be the main media outlet you go to when they come to Canton. And then we started little by little.
Every time we see each other, we was having them conversations.
Yeah, it was like, yo.
And I was amazed that you were saying it to me. It meant a lot and still means a lot to hear you say that, because people don't know. People think because you do it, that you did it. No, I'm just a guy who, born and raised here, loved my city, started something after losing my mom, and I'm just making my mom proud. That's every day. That's what it is, right? And then to see you doing something, I was feeling the same thing about you. I was like, this dude made an energy drink. Like, I've never even heard of anybody doing that. Like, that is crazy, and it's good. And then people talked about you. I heard your name, and I just kept hearing great things about them. That's a good dude. Yeah. He's got a good business. He's got a good product. But No Channing is a good dude. So that made it even more special. So I think the first time we connected, I don't even remember when or where, but it was like we had known each other forever.
Yeah.
Because we were fans of each other.
Yeah, we were fans. It was, I think I want to say it was like HBCU or First Friday or something. It was in passing. Yeah. It was real quick, but yeah, though, man. Definitely.
So we're going to keep support. Thank you so much. Yeah. You are as well. We're going to continue to support you here. Lucas Live News is an outlet for you. So you let us know what you got going on, and we're supporting it. We partnering with you.
It's official.
He gonna supply us with the drinks, and we're gonna supply him with some marketing and promotions. It's the real deal, man. Cheers to you, man. And to ZEAL Energy, man. You guys make sure you continue to check us out here at Lucas Live News.
ZEAL Nation, ZEALNation.net. You send your emails to us, and we'll keep you updated with everything that we got going on. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Y'all, man.
Appreciate you, man. Danny, thank you for your first time running the system.
Good job.
She held it down.
I held it down.
And it was our first time with this vertical situation, so it was different. But we're setting up to go live on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, so stay tuned. Make sure you're following us at Lucas Live Media on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, everywhere. The more support we have, the more we can do. Also, if you're interested in running ads with us, reach out to us. Email us at ads@lucaslivemedia.com or inbox us, message us, say if you want to know the pricing, how can I get on? How can I be a part of Lucas Live News? How can I be a part of the floating stuff on the screen? Stuff is floating around on the screen. How can I be a part of all that? You guys just please reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you, see if your business is a good fit for us and we're a good fit for you, and how we can share news and information about your business to help grow your business. Ladies and gentlemen, this was another episode of Lucas Live News. My name is Lucas Tyndale.
I'm Danny Williams.
I'm Channing Hawkins.
And it was our pleasure being here with you guys. We'll see you guys next time. Hey, speaking of that, this Wednesday,
December 20th, we're doing the holiday show. We have a few businesses lined up. It will be giving away products, services,
gift cards,
giveaway, gift cards, all kind of things. So make sure you guys tune back in here Wednesday, December 20th at 7 p.m.
This Wednesday. It's going to be so much fun. Live here in studio. It's going to go down. Y'all going to be able to win some prizes, some fun stuff. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a great time.
All right.
That's
we'll
it.
See you guys then. Thank you so much, Channing.
For sure. Appreciate y'all.
All right, my man.
Yes, sir.
Everybody have